So welcome again, everyone. A few announcements before we start the teaching today. And if you're English speaker and you need the class recording, please do open up your email. We will be sending the recording link to recording on Monday. Also that for the last couple of recordings, also you could just follow us on Taitung Foundation Facebook, and the recording will be on Taitung Foundation's Facebook for the every class. And if you still don't have a text and have trouble buying the text or any issue regarding English text, please do contact me, Major Chen, or give me an email. We can also share the text with you. And there is a link to where to buy the text on your email, that if you have registered with us, which I think is quite important that you do have the text. 那么这个大家好，那么今天呢，如果说是新同学来的话呢，如果您还没有跟我们注册的话，没有这个中文的这个法本的话呢，请加一下大同文教美德的微信。那么我们会把这个报名表加给你。那我们会有一个群，这个群里面的一些的这个录音和这个每堂课的录音和这个法本呢，会在群里给大家分享。那么请大家记得去传译的这个频道去听这个中文，听中文的地方呢，不要把原始频道不要关闭。因为格西讲这个英文的时候，也需要来这个听到他的原始的英文的声音，作为口传。I think we just lost Geshe-la.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Welcome again.
大家好，你好，大家好，Hello. Okay. Yes. Hello everyone. 大家好。
打开视频 Please do turn on your videos.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, so we start the session, refreshing refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. On the basis of that, then generate altruistic motivation to make one's life most meaningful, this very session be most meaningful for your own temporary and ultimate benefit of enlightenment, as well as temporary and ultimate benefit of numberless sentient beings. And that also make a firm kind of aspiration in the present of all the Lamrim merit field, starting from your root guru, or like that. Okay. Yeah, so can do the mandala, short mandala offering. Mandala Kanniya Daya Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonan La Janjo Badu Dani Jazunche Daye Cheche Jebe Sonam Dola Benje Sangye Drubarai Jo Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonan La Janjo Badu Dani Jazun Daye Cheche Jebe Sonam Dola Benje Sangye Drubarai Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonan La Janjo Badu Dani Jazun Daye Cheche Jebe Sonam Dola Benje Sangye Drubarai Kange Dozene Zone Dawa Damje Bambe Chere Dambe Chene Tuen Zebe Kodam Dela Chanse Tony Ninja Zondo Juve Lama Zeje Zeje Gandhi Tenege Chana Bema So Devzo Da Ju Jinje Okay, thank you. So on the basis of the mindset before the teaching that I have lightly reminded yesterday, simply feeling preciousness of your time, preciousness of your life. There are many reasons, why you have a legitimate reason to feel like that. And one of the obvious reason is we all meet Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching. We very much being in the time of Lama Tsongkhapa was alive. As I keep saying that what Lama Tsongkhapa said to his disciple, that if you meet the Lamrim, then it is equal meeting him. So that is the reason. So keeping that in mind, then take great interest and also seriousness of try to grasp instructions to your practice to develop the stages of the path from each of the word that expressed by Lama Tsongkhapa in his teaching, this middle length Lamrim, like that. Okay. Oh yeah. So I will continue to read from yesterday's where we stopped, and today we will start from the greatness of seeing all of the Buddha's teaching as instruction. Anyone who consider, Lama Tsongkhapa said like this, anyone who consider the great scripture to be expository teaching that do not contain practical instruction, who think that a guidance on the meaning of the essential point of practice exists separately from them, and who hold that even in the holy Dharma, the expository and applied teachings are found in different places, will create an obstacle for the arising of deep respect for the Immaculate Sutra and Tantra, as well as the treatise clarifying their intention. Oh, I think I already did that, isn't it? Yeah, I already did that. Oh, I went to the wrong. As I encourage to each and every one of you to read another round after the class. So not just saying, I try to do that myself. So I mark the date that I stopped the last session. So I thought I was there. So anyway, yeah. So today, actually, we are on the third headings, and within that is relying on the six perception, how to listen to the Dharma. We talks about the three, the falsely such like the falsely container, oneself, the recipient of the nectar of the Dharma, by overcoming that, and how to overcome that, and how to prepare ourselves to be a right vessel to digest the teaching. So that we did yesterday, and now there are six perceptions that which is also must have in order to make the teaching accessible as an instruction to your practice, and to able to become an antidote to your practice, not like that. So I read from there. So relying on the six perceptions, this has 6 points. Perceiving oneself. The first one is perceiving oneself as a patient, perceiving the ones expounding the Dharma as a doctor, perceiving the instruction as a medicine, perceiving persistent practice as a cure, perceiving the Tathagata as an excellent being, and generating the wish for Dharma tradition to last long. So this is really, really important. So perceiving oneself as a patient, without that element, without that recognition, we will never be serious to acquire the actual instruction of Dharma. Similar, if we don't realizing that ourselves as a diagnosed with certain sickness, then we will not be serious about seeking the medicine. even seeing the doctor, and in particularly, seeking the medicine, applying the medicine. So here, the perceiving oneself as a patient or as a someone that whose spiritual purpose is fully enlightenment, then we need to see the chronic condition of oneself as well as the rest of the other beings in the six realms. So first, oneself need to see the samsaric, being in the samsaric nature. The third level of the sickness or the third level of suffering need to be recognized, that which lies within our own aggregates, our mental aggregates, our physical aggregates, our feeling aggregates, our compositional aggregates, like that. They need to realize, need to realize the first true noble truth is the truth on these aggregates of yours. First we need to realize that. Need to realize that one is suffering, the third level of suffering, the suffering of pervasive compounded suffering, the having the contaminated aggregates. So that's important. Just realizing discomfort physically, mentally, those inconvenience comes in our way. Just realizing that as an inconvenience of our life is not good enough. Or even realizing the suffering of change is not good enough. One need to realize the third level of suffering. In order to understand the third level of suffering well, then we need to understand the teachings on the karma. We need to understand the teachings on the characteristic of the delusions, the limitations of the delusions, like such as ignorance, aversion, attachment, that which clearly elucidated by the omniscient one, how falsely and how dangerous, how harmful, how disadvantage of those negative emotions and the action that committed by those delusions. We need to understand that. We need to understand that our aggregates are suffering because of the condemnation that led by the karma and delusion. Then similarly, taking one's pervasive compounded suffering situation as a reason to also realizing the rest of the other living beings in the six realms, starting from one's own parents, one's own relatives, the loved ones, then rest of the humanity, rest of the animals, the rest of the other living beings, including of the non-physical living beings, those who reside in the preta realms, or those who reside in the hell realm, those who reside in the gods and demigod realms. We have to extend understanding all the way without leaving even one single sentient being within the sixth realm, as someone is not in the same condition like yourself. So we need to understand that. Then that's the only way one will take seriousness about relying on a perfect qualified doctor, which is the perfect Mayanic guru. Perfect Mayanic guru. You see that perfect qualified doctor is someone that is specialized in all aspects of diseases. Someone who is qualified in all aspects of medicines. Not just know how to treat gastric, not just know how to treat certain kind of diseases. Not good enough. Here you need someone know the limitation of all the diseases and know the cure for all the diseases. So such like that doctor is a Mayanic, perfect Mayanic guru, who who has the qualities which will also, which will describe later, but there's 10 different kind of qualities that describe, the most of all, that's someone that who has the great compassion, which is one of the most important element to reach out the help to entire numberless sentient beings. If the teacher don't have a great compassion, only just having limited compassion, then the benefit of the teaching won't reach out to entire numberless sentient beings, you see. So then on top of that, someone need to have excellent knowledge of all the Dharma, all the sutras and tantras, need to have the knowledge of all the 3 baskets of teaching, and someone who is practicing the 3 higher training of the practices. So then that way, then we'll have all the skillful means to cure the diseases accordingly with the different dispositions of each and every single numberless sentient beings, you see. So like that, you see. So then once you have rely on such a qualified doctor, then whatever medicine, whatever diagnosis, whatever medicine that prescribe would be no side effect, because all different all aspect of limitations of the sickness, and also know the knowledge of all the medicine. So similarly, when the qualified Mahayanic guru, offer the guidance and the teachings to you, then will never find contradictory. Will never find contradictory to each other. Whenever the perfect Mahayanic guru teaches the Vinaya, you will find how importance of also integrating the practice of sutra and tantra. When the perfect Mahayanic guru teaches the sutra, you will find that how important to integrate the practice of Vinaya and the tantra. When that perfect Mahayanic guru teaches the tantra, you will find that how important to integrate the Vinaya and as well as the sutra, like that. Otherwise, when the teacher teaches sutra, then it's like you may sound, is not cooperative, or not harmonious with the tantric practice. When the teacher teaches tantra, then it sounds like all the Vinaya is contradictory. All the Vinaya is not capable, not applicable to practice. Not harmonious to practice. It may sound like that. You see, so so like that. So therefore, it's very important to know the 3rd level of suffering. Then receiving the one's expounding Dharma as a doctor, like as I mentioned before, receiving the instruction as a medicine. So you see, so the teachings as a medicine, So teaching you just keep in your memory, as a knowledge only, not good enough. You see. You just know the description of medicine is not good enough. You need to take it, isn't it, in order to cure. So therefore, whatever teaching we learn, we need to apply it. Initially very much like imitate. To imitate. You visualize like Lama Tsongkhapa himself, like Lama Atisha themselves, when they were beginner like us. For this practice, how would they practice? So you try to imitate like them. Train like them, then gradually, then it become part of yourself like that, So that's the way how you very much like taking the medicine, not just knowing the prescription. Then not only practicing, but we have to practice consistently. We need to practice consistently, whether it's to do with the vows and the precepts, whether to do with the certain instructions, whether to do with the certain yoga, or whether to do with a certain sadhana, whether to do with certain meditation, visualizations, recitations. All these things has to be done repeatedly. Even though it's the same thing, but you just need to repeat, like Om Mani Padme Hum counting on the mala, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, 100 million times. if it's still not good enough. So every practice we need to repeat. If you are doing prostration, when you are at when you are first time become a Buddhist, then you start to do prostrations, water bowl offerings, all those preliminary practices. Then after you practice for some time, then you forget about that and you try to do something else. Then maybe it's not consistent, not persistent. So whatever we've been doing from the very beginning, we need to top up the rest of the the new practices. We just need to add up onto it and accumulate and try to do a whole of it like that. So therefore, those of students who study, who has the opportunity to study many Dharma lectures, many Dharma teachings. One of the first teaching that to be introduced to us is to be Lamrim. And one of the last teaching in this life to learn Lamrim. Along the journey of learning many other teaching, the Lamrim is always like the root text. Lamrim is always where you should land. Whether you're studying sutras, tantras, the Lamrim is the landing ground. And Lamrim is also where you can validate whatever you learn from many teachers, from many books, from many lectures, from many instructions, from many experiences in your spiritual practice. You should validate by landing onto Lamrim. So Lamrim should take like that. It's a landing point, so like that. Then, and also whenever we listen to any teaching, whether that teaching is really in accordance with the Dharma or not, you validate from your Lamrim understanding, from Lamrim knowledge, whether those instructions are practical, beneficial or not, you validate from the Lamrim like that, Then also as a retreater, you see like this, whatever kind of retreat we do, even highest yogic tantric retreat we do, one of the main meditation is Lamrim. You see, the self-generation, front generation, making offerings, all the other yogas, in fact, is a secondary. The main practice is still the Lamrim. You see, even before you do self-generation, front generation, if you don't have a good bodhicitta motivation, if you didn't do a good meditation on bodhicitta, and good meditation on renunciation, and good meditation on emptiness, front generation, self-generation, making offerings, the yogas, the body mandala, nothing will make sense. You see, the more the steady in the meditation on Lamrim, like such as three principal aspects of the path, that will bring greatness in the tantric practice. Even while accumulations of the mantra, most of the deity yoga commitment retreats or long retreats, even a 3-year great retreats, there's a lot of accumulations of the mantra. The instructions of the lineage gurus would advise that the mantras are only accumulated when you feel a bit exhausted with the Lamrim meditation. Then only you recite the mantra, then you count the mantra. So the main practice during the retreat is actually do meditation on Lamrim, like Guru Yoga practices, like meditation on emptiness, meditation on all the rest of the subject like that, Then when you feel bit exhausted, then now for the resting purpose, then now you count the mantra. You know, so you see, so that shows that the landing ground or even tantric practice is still the lamrim, or the main essence of the tantric practice is still the lamrim. You know, so it's like that. So therefore, so here in particular, the lamrim practices has to be persistent practice, and that way, you know, when we gain realization on the stages of the path, we will gain complete, you know, realization on the complete path, not a partial path. You see, because lamrim offer the complete path. You see, like that. Then, when you have a sense of, you know, understanding of this ultimate benefit of the Dharma for the liberation, you know, of all sentient beings, then you will always aspire, make aspiration for Dharma to, you know, Dharma to remain long time, you know, Dharma to last until entire numberless sentient beings be liberated, you know, so like that. So these are very important perception or ideas that we need to have whenever we learn the Dharma, whenever we practice the Dharma. Then our practice becomes very solid like that. Okay, now I read. Perceiving oneself as a patient, entering to the Bodhisattva way. Lama Tsongkhapa quoted that to say that even when stricken with ordinary illness, one has to follow the word of doctor. How much more so if 100 ills like a desire afflict you perpetually? And Lama Tsongkhapa said, owing to mental afflictions such as attachment, we continuously suffer from ills causing lasting and severe suffering that is difficult to cure. Therefore, we first need to diagnose them as such. For that, then Lama Tsongkhapa quoted Geshe Kamapa. Is one of the Kadampa Geshe, you know, Gompa was a student. If we were not sick, then to meditate as if we were would be the wrong procedure. If we were not sick, then to meditate as if we were would be the wrong procedure. In reality, however, we are stricken with the chronic illness of 3 poisons, and our illness is very great, and yet we do not know we are ill at all. You know, so as I mentioned before, understanding the wound, like the pain, the first level of you know, sickness as a sickness is not good enough. You know, you see, or even the suffering of change is not good enough. We need to know the why we are sick is the sickness of the pervasive compounded suffering. You know, so otherwise, our ordinary mind reject the reason, saying that I'm not sick, I don't feel pain. You know, why I need to seek for cure like that. You know, so therefore, it is important for us to know the third level of sickness. Especially, you know, to understand the magnitude in the form of unbearable sufferings, in the form of, you know, countless numbers of lifetime, the suffering that caused by like desire, like delusion, like attachment, like delusion, like aversion, anger, ignorance. You know how much we have suffered, and we are still suffering. You know, that to be understood. Okay. Then he said, perceiving one expounding the Dharma as a doctor. By way of analogy, if we are stricken with a serious illness such as wind or bile diseases, we look for an expert physician, and upon meeting one, we are extremely happy and we listen to what he says, treat him with respect, and serve him. We should seek out a spiritual guide teaching the Dharma in the same way, and having found him, accomplish what he says, taking it not as a burden, but as a treasure, treating him with respect and reverence. Perceiving the instruction as a medicine. Third, just as a patient greatly appreciates the medicine dispensed by the doctor, we regard the instruction and precepts taught by someone expounding the Dharma as the most precious things. And then we make an effort to cherish them rather than wasting them through forgetfulness and the like. Perceiving persistent practice as the cure. An ill person sees that his illness cannot be alleviated unless he accepts the medicine the doctor has dispensed and take it. Likewise, once you see that attachment and so forth cannot be eliminated without implementing the advice taught by our Dharma teacher, practice with persistence and do not arrogantly strive to collect numerous presentations without putting them into practice. It does not a leper whose hand and feet are falling of no good to indigest a dose of medicine once or twice. Likewise, for us who have been stricken with the beginningless time with the vicious diseases, that is the mental affliction, it is not sufficient to engage the meaning of the instruction only a couple of times. This is why we should examine every part of the path in a full with wisdom of fine investigation and be as persistent as a following river. Yeah, so as mentioned before, in order to really see the magnitude of the pervasive compounded suffering, the samsara that we experience, due to the delusions like attachment, aversion, ignorance, and the karma. If we don't have quite a good conviction, through understanding life and rebirth, and about karma, then it would be a bit hard to capture, the understanding. So there are many such teachings. For our ordinary mind, we need a sense of faith, a sense of conviction in the words of the wise one, such as Buddha, such as Lama Tsongkhapa, such as the reason of even Lama Tsongkhapa quoting some of the earlier masters and the sutras is very much very much the teaching for us to accept literally of those information as a valid. So we require some basic faith and reliance and conviction in the Buddha, in those great masters, So otherwise, we try to use our ordinary mind to make sense to us. It's hard, There are, even in the philosophy, there are three kinds of phenomena were presented. One kind of phenomena is only able to understand, only able to accept reliance on the word of the wise one. Such as the quotations from Buddhas and the Panditas, the realized one, called Ngoyu Kogyu Shindu Kogyu. The third one, Shindu Kogyu, is which Lung, you need to rely on the words of the wise one. There are many phenomena like that about the subtleness of about the karma, the magnitude of the delusions, and including the power of the altruism, the power of emptiness, all this, and the power of even the fields of the realization on the stages of the path, even the realization of renunciation from 6 realms. Then the greatness, the absolute greatness of liberation, the greatness of Buddhahood. We need to accept, literally what Buddha have described, because the Buddha is omniscient, so they know exactly what it is, and we try to make sense of ourselves using our own life experience. We will never get there. You see, so there are many dharmas are like that. So for us to understand the how painful it is of the third level of suffering, the third level, the compounded suffering, which our ordinary mind won't able to realize that how painful it is. No question about that. Even the suffering of change, we don't realize as a suffering. We indulge, we get distracted. Many of the experience of sufferings of change as regard as a pleasure, and we indulge them. Those are very gross, but we still didn't get to understand, with our ordinary mind, ordinary observation. And there's no question for us to be able to understand the third level of suffering, like that. Yeah, so then Lama Tsongkhapa quoted the praises of confession. It says, our mind have utterly and continuously been obscured, and for long we have perpetuated the diseases. How can a leper whose hand and feet are fallen off derive any benefit from only rarely taking his medicine? Like that. And Lama Tsongkhapa says, the perceptions of oneself as a patient is key. If it is present, the other perceptions will also arise. So from the 6 perception, the first one is most crucial. However, if the instruction remain mere words without their meaning being accomplished so as to eliminate the mental affliction, you will remain as a mere listener. Then quoted the King of Concentration Sutra says that you will be like a patient who is not cured, but having sought a doctor, seek out only a medical treatise, but does not take the medicine. Even in our ordinary life, we do that, isn't it? I do like that. I collect a lot of medicine, but then end up you don't take it. You don't take it. Then also we read about this medicine is good for this medicine is good for that. But when you are in the big trouble, then you are totally freaked out and confused and don't know which medicine now is good. It happens like that. So therefore, similarly, we really, go and learn Dharma from many different teachers, many books. We've been listening for ages, but then still, still there's no solid instruction that directly applying or directly integrating in our ordinary day-to-day life. You see, in ordinary day-to-day life, Dharma only occurs when you're in front of the altar, or you feel sense of like that you are inseparable from Dharma when you are listening to the Dharma teaching, reading the book. But otherwise, it's like I am Mr. Bean, still making joke around like that, So, yeah. So you see, even when you are in a most destructive environment, even though your physical body is there, but you need to feel completely, under the guidance of the Dharma. And even we may be in the situation of like physically, mentally tormented by illness, but then again, like Dharma is completely kind of like guiding you, how to take onto the path of those experiences, you see. In the good time, in the bad time, when we're engaging with difficult people, engaging with, very positive environment, as a practitioner, as a true practitioner who's already received Dharma instruction, then for you it's like all same. When you are in a very, very inspiring environment, you look so inspired. When you are in a very difficult place, when you're in a very destructive place, tormented place, when someone looking at you, you still look so inspired. You still look so inspired like that. When you feel bliss, you feel so wonderful. You feel so kind of subdued, so calm, so settled, so peaceful. But at the same time, like when you are tormented by obstacles or illness, you equally look the same thing. You see, so we need to come to that point. And you see, in our lifetime, there are many individuals who illustrate that clearly by the impact of the Dharma, like our gurus, like Kyabchen Lama Sopa Rinpoche, to whom that I witnessed. Just the day before Rinpoche passed away, I was there. I witnessed, what kind of the aspect that Rinpoche is showing, then, throughout Rinpoche's life, many of you too, now and then we were around Rinpoche, isn't it? Sometimes receiving teaching, sometimes attending to Rinpoche, etc. And Rinpoche do have, physically, some inconvenience, like a health, but you never see that he is disturbed by those inconvenience, isn't it? Then Rinpoche has to handle hundreds and hundreds of people, like such as include like his own, etc. You can see very obvious, handle hundreds and hundreds of people daily. You see, and if you just happen to be around Rinpoche for about few hours, and within that few hours there will be so many people coming to see him, and there will be so many different kind of communication with him. Some are complaining, some are like kind of expressing all the stress that they have. Some are just kind of like inspired, some are completely silent, some are crying, some are talking, some are laughing. But then from Rinpoche's side, it's like completely sameness. His relation to all of them is a sameness. And that sameness in the aspect of full of care, full of gentleness, full of compassion, full of positivity, then at the end result, whatever kind of such people there, when they go out of Rinpoche's environment, they all go the same impact. Everybody goes with a sense of feeling inspired, sense of smiling, sense of relief, sense of feeling blessed. You will see like sense of like a smile to everybody. But when they came in, everybody is different, isn't it? So like that. So yeah. So these are the open book, open book teaching to us. So we have to train, to become just like them, isn't it? Our purpose of practicing Dharma is to achieve Guru Buddhahood, isn't it? Guru Buddhahood. you know. So we have to imitate from now, you know. We have to, in another way, we have to train to be just like them, you know, try to speak like them, try to show facial expression like them, try to behave like them, try to think like them, even though you may fail 1,000 times, but just try persistently, you know, and everybody one day will achieve Guru Buddhahood, definitely, isn't it? So like that, you know. In any way, the progress, if we train like that, you know, you know, oneself will witness, and one's own environment, like the family members and friends that who always circle you, will witness your progress. So obviously, without maybe even yourself knowing, that you become so peaceful person, you become much more tolerant, you know, much more compassion, much more acceptance, you know. Even the grandchildren may come and, you know, like find like so wonderful to be so close to you, because you are the most acceptance, you are the most forgiving, you are the most easygoing, you know, like that. If you have any grandchildren, or otherwise, if you have a husband, then for your husband, or for your wife, for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, for your children, you know, that has to happen. That has to happen. And this is the whole reason what it means. Dharma become an instruction. Dharma is already taken as instruction, you know, to apply. You see, and this result has to be manifest. You know, so the result of the benefit of the Dharma is not something we need to wait another life. In fact, the result has to be risen right now, right then, now and then. It has to happen, you know. And it is so beneficial, you know, it is so beneficial, you see, like that. So that's why, you know, practicing occasionally is not good enough. Practicing only on auspicious days is not good enough. Practicing only 4 major Buddha's holidays not good enough. You see, we have to practice all the time. All the time, we have to chant the mantra while you have the mala in your hand. You also need to chant the mantra when you don't have mala in your hand. You have to do your sadhana when you are dressed up properly and sitting in front of your altar. You have to do sadhana. You also need to do the sadhana when you are completely naked in your bed, lying down. You need to express the impact of sadhana when you're in front of the guru, when you're in the temple, when you're with the Dharma brothers, sisters. But you also need to express the impact of the sadhana and the practices when you are with your enemy, when you are with the difficult people. You know, when you are in a very bad place, very dangerous place, you need to express the impact, you know, all the time. You see, like that. Oh, you know, some superstitious people say, you know, you cannot carry mala, or you cannot practice, you cannot chant mantra in the toilet. But then if you, nowadays everybody travel, then at the airport you're traveling alone, and you put your bag outside, and you need to go to toilet, and what are you going to do? You know, if you don't find anybody to help to bring your bag with full of sadhana, full of holy object, maybe even the relics together, but you need to go to toilet, isn't it? Unless there's someone ready to help you. I don't think nowadays people are so cautious. They won't take care of your bag when you need to go to toilet. You have to bring, if you just leave your bag outside for another 5-10 minutes, or maybe even 1-2 minutes, the security will confiscate them, isn't it? They announced that you cannot leave your bag alone, isn't it? At the airport, you see, It's okay. You need to practice. You need to have the holy object not only in the altar room. You need the holy object maybe even more in the toilet, more in negative places. You see, maybe practicing in front of altar is definitely wonderful. Yes, maybe we need to practice more. Maybe in those, maybe in the toilet, maybe other places, everywhere. There's no particular place called this is not right place to practice, especially practitioner of the bodhicitta. No, there's no particular place called this is auspicious place, this is right place, these are auspicious people to practice bodhicitta. No, everywhere is the right place. So we have to come up to that. If we do that, then our practice becomes persistent. Then that is like applying the medicine consistently. If we start to wait for the right date, right time, right location, there will be a lot of interruption. Because our altar is only one, either in the temple or either in your prayer room. But the negative places is everywhere, isn't it? Or negative places is more than the altar place, more than a temple. You see? So as for a true Dhamma practitioner, everywhere is the right place to practice. So yeah, when we talk about persistent practice. Yeah, then it is also says, if after I have explained the excellent Dharma and you have heard it, you do not apply it well, you will be like those patients whose purchase are full of medicine, but who still do not cure their own diseases. Yeah. Yeah, that's very much that's very much like that's very much like me. Maybe you see, we almost have the text of all the teachings, and then some more now, like in the like iPad, that you so easily can collect teachings. Yeah, there's one stage I like to collect. In the past, I like to collect texts, the books. Everywhere you go, your main shopping is books. And you also try to read them. You read them. But then when difficult situation comes in your way, you're completely blank. You don't know what to do. You don't know what kind of teaching can be applied. You're completely out of those books, out of those information. Many times it becomes like that. You see? And that is solely because of you never read the book, you never collect the book for instruction. You collect the book, you read the book for information. Just to collect information, just to make a library outside, not inside. Especially the library integrating to your life. You see, it becomes like that. You see, and sometime you get upset. I mean, you know so many teachings, you have so many books, but when you get upset, you're almost like how to say, you just right there completely overwhelmed with upsetness, completely, as if you never heard Dharma before, as if that you never studied Dharma before. You come to a zone like that, in completely dark period. Even after 30, 40 years of like never separating reading, listening, it happens like that. It is devastating, isn't it? It is truly devastating. And that is because whatever Dharma we knew, we didn't practice persistently, and we didn't take them as instruction to our day-to-day life. day-to-day, our ordinary life, didn't take, we regard them very holy. We regard some very special. Yes, a lot of veneration, but that veneration never really drive as a blessing into our heart. That didn't happen because of that, you see. The moment little things go wrong, anger is like, boom, like that, the anger, so easy to get upset, so easy. Even today, so easy, like little thing, just boom, like that, And those anger, those environments are very gross. It's not even a subtle, it's a very gross. It should be easily overcome, but it's not happening. It's not happening. It's again because of we haven't done enough habitual exercise of the sadhana of the Dharma in our day-to-day life. You see? Then sometimes so easy to get depressed. Like mind just saying like that. Boom, like so easy. Just because of today didn't sunshine, it's like feel very moody. So easily, how possible? Thinking about the antidote, the teaching that we have many volumes, and we have studied, we have listened. We stay close to amazing living Buddhas. This amazing, living bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, like our gurus. But still, like so fragile, still remains so fragile. Our mind becomes, remains still so fragile. And that is totally due to the reason of not whatever Dharma that we knew, we didn't practice persistently. We didn't habituate enough. We didn't take them as an instruction to our day-to-day ordinary life. As if that I have my holy part of my days, and that those instructions, those Dharma practices are for that time. For me to be like a holy, for me to be like the Bodhisattva, for me to be like a good practitioner, only during those special days. Or today is Sagadawa, I need to behave, we do that. Today is Sagadawa, I cannot get angry, I cannot get upset, I cannot stop chanting mantra. Like, today is Sagadawa. Then tomorrow Sagadawa is over. Now I go back to my own reality. In fact, as a practitioner, your own reality is the reality of your own being inseparable with the Dharma. You see, in fact, every single day, to be celebrated as a Sagadawa, isn't it? Every single day. Once you meet the Dharma, then every single day, as serious as a Sagadawa. You see, so yeah, so that's why something really need to how to say, need to stream it directly to the heart, and directly on that nectar has to be like channel in our ordinary day-to-day life, in our ordinary day-to-day activities. Like even any steps we make, even we go to sleep, even when we eat, any form of ordinary activities has to integrate into a Dharma activities, like taking them onto the path, like that. And entering to the Bodhisattva's way says, this should be put into practice physically. What would be gained by uttering just the words? Would it be of benefit for the sick to just read about the medical treatment? Put into practice physically. Put into practice right now. Put into practice in our actions of body, speech, and mind. Therefore, you should develop the perception that persistent eliminate the diseases. Persistent eliminate the diseases. So practice physically, in physically, very much practice in action. In action of our body, speech, and mind, in activities of our body, speech, and mind. It's talking about that. And the way to do that is persistent, always there to eliminate the diseases. The diseases is the diseases, the diseases of the karma, the diseases of the delusions. So all the practices, all the teachings, the way to integrate into our into our ordinary day-to-day life through our body, speech, and mind is directly impacting purifications of karma and delusion. Best motivation, like altruistic motivation, so that the action, whatever we perform, going to be very powerful, very great. Then the action also try very best to have an altruistic action, if able to manage to do so. Then on top of that, then at least at the end, the dedication, the conclusion of day-to-day activity with some sense of again integrating into practice, through dedication. If it's any good conduct, good days have happened according with the Dharma, rejoice them and dedicate the merit for the benefit of all beings. If they didn't go according with what you motivated, what you expect, then purify them, like through four opponent power practice or through Vajrasattva practice, purify them. You see, if in case, if the actions that what you do by nature is not virtuous, let's say like those of actions, the socialization, those of actions that in day to day that like a job, other family responsibilities, by nature is not a virtue, but at least because of the motivation being virtue and dedication, which is virtue, which has a complete ownership by your own heart. You don't need to adjust with the material or the physical others condition. So at least with these two, the right motivation and the dedication, able to make the integrations of the Dharma practices into our day-to-day life in your very best benefits, like that. So then that way, then the delusion start to get lesser and lesser, or karma start to purify. The good qualities, the two type of merits, the merit of wisdom, merit of attitude will start to increase. Then that will cause effective realization of the stages of path, like that. In this statement, signifies putting into practice the topic of adopting some behaviors and discarding others as advised by the spiritual teacher. Now, to put them into practice, you need to know them, and for that, you need to hear them. But the point of knowing them through hearing is to do them. to practice them, apply them in our day-to-day life. Apply them in our ordinary life. Yeah, that's very important. Apply the Dharma learning in our ordinary doings. That's many people lacking that. You see, we practice Dharma, but we practice, as I mentioned before, we practice Dharma occasionally on auspicious days. We practice Dharma only when we do particular sadhana, when we do meditation only. Other time we say, I'm doing ordinary, so I cannot practice Dharma. We normally say, I have no time to practice Dharma, isn't it? Because I'm busy, because I have job. So you already separate. No, your job is your Dharma practice. Your job is actually the main platform to practice Dharma. Your family responsibility is the ground that you apply the Dharma. The Dharma, if you're already Buddha, no need to practice Dharma. And if you're already in the enlightened celestial, then we don't need Dharma, isn't it? Because we are ordinary, because we do ordinary things, because we do mistakes. That's why Dharma need to bring that. So Dharma need to go beyond calendar, beyond inauspicious and auspicious dates. Dharma has to go beyond ordinary and extraordinary times, or ordinary, extraordinary doings. So that barrier, we have this very strict barrier like that. You see, even some individual, they express they want to become monk and nun, and they were quite depressed because of they still have family responsibility, they have job responsibility. I said, no, you can already observe all the precepts that Sangha practice. You don't have to cut your hair, you don't have to wear the robe, you don't have to go into monastery. You can still practice them. You still earn a lot of merit. You can do that. Everybody can practice Sangha vows, even before receiving them. If you receive them, of course, there's extra responsibilities. Because of extra responsibility, there's extra benefit there. But because of not having that full opportunity, that doesn't mean that you cannot observe such as a 5 root vows, or the 4 root vows, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual conduct, no intoxication. All this can be practiced. These are Sawashi, the 4 root vows. These are the 4 root vows for the Sangha. Everybody can practice that. You see, so like that, and then Buddhist vows. You really want to take Buddhist vows, but then you didn't have the opportunity. Someone granting the Buddhist vow. No, you can practice all the precepts now. You see, like that. Then we also say we want to do retreat. We want to do retreat. Then we have to wait for a certain particular time. It takes so many years to organize that, to be in a certain particular place, to do particular thing. No, you can do all the precept of retreat while you are doing all your responsibility, family and job. The retreat is the main retreat is the heart. Of course, if you have opportunity, then the physical retreat, environmental retreat, verbal retreat, the retreat of the heart. But at least the main one is the heart. You see, so we can still start with that, isn't it? So I continue read. Therefore, it is crucial that you put the meaning of what you have heard into practice to the best of your ability. Otherwise, at the time of death, you will regret what you failed to accomplish. You will be like someone imitating a professional actor or someone interested in sugar who only eat the husk of the cane. Yeah. So then the exhortation was the exhortation to the Extraordinary Attitude Sutra says, my attainments are poor. What should I do now? That is how the childish, while dying, not finding the profound, they suffer greatly. These are the faults of delighting in mere words. And like someone amid the crowd watching a play who extol the virtues of another man, the hero, he is lacking with regard to his own persistence. They are the faults of delighting in the mere words. And the heart of the sugarcane has no essence. The delighting flavor is inside. Someone eating the husk is unable to find the delicious flavor of the molasses. Similarly, words are like the husk. The meaning, like the taste, is inside. Consequently, stop delighting in the word. Always be conscientious. Always be conscientious. Reflect on their meaning. So there's a saying that the words is like the stick to the old man who have a difficult to get up from the ground. So you use the word, you use the help of the word to rely to get up. Once you get up, then the road is flat like this, and if you still carry the stick, it become a burden, obstacle. You have to put aside the stick and walk freely. So this is very much like that, So we have to rely on the words to understand its meaning and gain the instruction. But the ultimate goal of learning the teaching, learning the word, is not just to accumulate the information. Ultimately we need to integrate them into practice. So this is what talking about, giving the example of the sugar and the sugar husk. Okay, so now I'll continue reading. Perceiving the Tathagata as an excellent being, exalted being, perceiving the Tathagata as an exalted being. The fifth perception consists in bringing to mind the teacher of the Dharma, the blessed one, the developing respect to him. So generating the wish for the Dharma tradition to last. Okay, so yes, we have the influence of the habitual engagement in negativities, in delusions, in false views, negative projections, impure projections. You see, so if we don't design our perception towards the teachers, the Dharma Guru, and towards the Buddhas as a exalted being, as a qualified being, or as an altruistic being, then we may see the same level of your own limitation. So one of the practice of the Dharma is always train our heart to practice pure view. Always, our heart to train into pure view. You see, all the Dharma practices is to transform impure mind to pure mind, impure perception to pure perception, impure apprehension to pure apprehension, impure connection to pure connection, to establish impure connection to pure connection. That is also a meaning of Tantra. The ultimate purpose of Sutra and Tantra is to purify impure mind, impure perception, the dualistic perception, inherent perception, delusional perceptions, you see. So from the very first day when we engage in Dharma practice, first you start always visualizing, remembering, those great beings like the Buddha as a Buddha, Bodhisattvas as a Bodhisattvas, and those of, to whom that you directly engage for your, for your knowledge, for your development of a spiritual path is your teacher. So always exercise our mind to view that teacher as a Buddha, like exalted being, like the Buddha, like that, So tease our mind, make our mind to express that, make our word to express that. You see, like venerable guru, like Gyabche, never call, that's one of the reasons, in the Dharma practice, you never call a name directly. It's very much like calling the ordinary, you see. So that's why always, some, Lama's name are put up the initial name, which is very long, Jawa, Chabda, Dorje, Cha, etc., or Tenji, Ledo, Senem, Jango, Jawe, Ombo, Tamje, Kenji, Siba, Chembo, it's like, and there's so many. The reason is really honoring them with their qualities. So if you call them straight to their name, then it's disrespectful. You see, in the I think, I don't know, I have no idea where. Maybe in the West, maybe it says that, it's good to call your name directly. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I was someone, I think, told me or maybe they say you can call me directly. Even I think I remember last time when I was bringing the little Lama Phuntsho Rinpoche to school. Then when I was communicating with the principal, and and try to do the bit of the Tibetan way, and say, no, you can call me straight away. You can call me my name. So you don't need to put a Mr., Mrs. You can just call David or Lam or Tan or whatever, like that. So. So, but then the Dharma culture, to very much to train, exercise, not just the thinking but also the word. That's why you express, like we call like Rinpoche, like Gyabje Lama Tuden Soba Rinpoche, or Gyabje Rinpoche. You see. We don't call Tuten Sopa. That's not the way. So like that, I don't know why I'm saying this. I have so anyway. Well then. In Dharma culture, you will see, the disciples like almost, many, they touched the Guru's feet. In India, this even the Indian general culture has this culture of, like touching your head, your hand to the feet of the Guru, the feet of your parents, the feet of the, especially the parents, grandparents. You see, so in the Buddha Dharma, we have this culture actually, which is actually very precious to practice. But in some culture, this sounds like it's a bit inconvenient, but for your own benefit, this is really wonderful. But if not, at least like kind of like when we meet the gurus, we have sense of like prostration mudra, or then even like word like Lama Ken, it's like, and may capture much long live, like that kind of thing. It's just like it says, express. It's very much like your heart seeing your guru as a Buddha, which is there intact. And you want to integrate your speech and body also. So to speech, you say some auspiciousness, may you live long, like that kind of thing, or then, physically, then, do at least, prostration, like gesture like that, like our most precious Kapje Lama Subramanian in the past. You see, when he met his guru, he would right there, he do long prostration. There's one time that he was circumambulating Bodha Stupa, and it was a bit of drizzling also, so it's a bit wet also. So he meet suddenly one of his guru right there, he do a long prostration, like that. Then I heard, I was not there, but I heard one time at the airport somewhere, Rinpoche again meet with his guru. He right there, he did like that. Maybe in our case, it would be if not like that, but at least like when you see your guru, it's like not like just meeting normal friend. So these are very good culture, good practice. So there's like perceiving the Tathagata as an exalted being, like that. Okay, now I continue reading. Then generating the wish for the Dharma tradition to last long. The sixth perception consists in the thought. How, so like this, how wonderful it would be if from listening to such Dharma, the victorious teaching remain in the world for a long time. Like that. If apart from that, you ignore your own mind stream while explaining or listening to the Dharma remaining separate from it, then whatever is being explained will miss the point. Therefore, you have to listen with the intention of developing understanding in your mind. To illustrate this, when you want to see whether there is a dirt or some other impurity on your face, you look at yourself in the mirror. And if you find much there, you remove it. Likewise, when you hear the Dharma, your faulty behavior appears in the mirror of the Dharma. Whereupon you feel anguish thinking, that is what my mind stream has become true. Then, as you engage in eliminating faults and attaining excellent quality, you necessarily train in accordance with the Dharma. So, when you read, when you listen to Dharma teaching, you have to take that as a mirror yourself, your body, speech, and mind reflecting in it. Your entire past days of your life reflecting into it. You're able to see vividly what kind of person you are, what kind of attitude you have been cultivating in your life, what kind of karmas, actions you have committed in your life. You're able to spot, oh, this has been wrong. This kind of thinking was mistake. You see, this kind of way of engaging with others was mistake. So now, I see, I need to behave like this. I need to think like that. I need to think like the Bodhisattva way. I need to speak the way how the Guru speaks. I need to behave the way how the Guru or the Buddhas and Bodhisattva behaves. Oh, I see. Now, right now, not like, after 10 years later, I will try to behave like that. No, right now. Okay, right now, when you go to see your partner, your partner has to see very strange thing happen to you. Your partner will be shocked. Your partner will be cannot believe, what happened with you. He said, how come you become so nice? How possible? For the past 40 years, I never see this aspect. What happened with you? Maybe you need to go and see doctor. Oh, even if she or he said that you need to better go and see doctor, something is not right. You should take as a compliment. Like that. Oh, that has to happen. You cannot wait. You cannot wait that to happen after I complete next year retreat. Not like that. You have to be immediate changes has to happen. So like this. Yeah. So and then such changes is the best way to also change your partner. To behave the same way. How you wish for the last 40 years for him or her to behave that way to you. This is the best method to change the other party for you. So like that. So if you want someone to change for you, there's some way how they should talk to you, how they behave to you, you change for them. That's the best way. You can wait for others to change for you. So anyway, then, so now I read. So yeah, Lama Tsongkhapa quoted this. It is like in the Garland of Birth story, where the son of the Sudasa asked Prince Chandra for Dharma teaching, saying, seeing the image of my bad behavior so clearly in the mirror of the Dharma, anguish strongly arising in me, and I turn towards the Dharma. I turn towards the Dharma. And Lama Tsongkhapa says, knowing this to be the thinking of the suitable vessel for hearing the Dharma, the Bodhisattva gave him teaching. You see, so that has to have the same impact to us, like that. In short, thinking, I shall attain Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings. To attain that, I need to train in its causes, as it is necessary to listen to the Dharma for that. I will listen to the Dharma, generate bodhicitta, contemplate the benefit of listening, and listening with joy, eliminating the faults of the vessel. And so all this has to be intent. So then now how to explain the Dharma? So that is, those who are pronouncing the Dharma to others, those who are giving Dharma advice to others, those who are teaching, those who are as a Dharma teacher, Dharma gurus, or those of whom individuals who wish to share Dharma to others, who wish to be teacher to those ripened disciples. So this is for that. So this has the 4 points: contemplating the benefit of explaining the Dharma, same thing, generating the respect for the teacher and the Dharma, the proper attitude and the behavior with which to explain the Dharma, and differentiating those to whom to explain should be given. So those who really, so one of them, you always have to honor your lineage, your teachers. Even someone who taught you just one syllable ka, one syllable na. Someone want to really to bless others through Dharma teaching, then you yourself have to have that value of honoring all your teachers as like the Buddha, as like the elder, as a respected figure. Yourself, you don't honor your lineage gurus, you don't honor your teachers, and then you won't able to, you don't have the actual nectar to pass down to your students. So the students' heart will be empty. They may be hear a lot of empty words, but won't impact the heart. Okay, so now contemplating the benefit of explaining the Dharma, the treasurer of Abhidharma says, giving the Dharma free of mental affliction, teach according with the sutra and other true texts, giving the Dharma free of mental afflictions. You have to be free from arrogant. You have to be free from biasness. If you are teaching to one person or if you are teaching to 1,000 people, has to be the same effort, same motivation. The motivation also has to be free from worldly concern. Then really, even you just some word that the person listener didn't understand also receive the blessings. You see. Then also teach according with the sutra and the true text, like those of the commentaries, those legitimate, those valid, teaching, the commentaries composed by the past master, like Panditas, like that. So therefore, whatever you speak, even while you are giving example, or even you're explaining, whether you quote or not, in your head, there's quotation from sutras going on, or the quotations, from the commentaries, like commentaries from like Adisha, like Lama Tsongkhapa, etc. It's like going on, So you have a reference here. Then based on that, then you deliver skillfully. Maybe something, a new example, or maybe sense of stories, sense of flexibility of explanation, whatever. But whatever you are delivering, you need to have a reference in the sutra, in the commentary, not make up by you. So that's one of the reason why you need to study. You need to study whole scripture. You need to study. You always have to study whole scripture. So you study all the Tipitakas, all the three baskets of the teachings. Then very much, I think whatever you wish to share, definitely, there should be some reference in somewhere, like that, you see. So that's what it means. You need to teach according with the sutra and the true texts, true teachings. So this is what it means. So very much you need to have a genuine sense of inner confidence, the confidence of that I'm responsible of the people who are listening the Dharma for their liberation. You need to be responsible. You see, the responsibility is not just know how to speak, not just know how to read, how to explain. That's not good enough. For Dharma teacher, because the Dharma information, can be so beneficial that it can condition to ripen the Buddha within that person right now, just because of one Dharma information. There can be the direct condition to ripen his or her enlightenment. Or that Dharma information also can be the obstacle that individual to be bounded by ignorance for countless eons of lifetime. So the responsibility is you have the confidence to take full responsibility of someone's liberation, someone's enlightenment. So before Dharma teacher speaks, you need to have that confidence. You see, then doesn't matter whatever way you want to speak. Even people think you don't know how to speak, you don't know how to teach, doesn't matter. The karmic ripened student definitely get benefited. Otherwise, how poetry, how nice, how well speaking you speak, it's like a banging an empty vessel like that. It instead may create an obstacle. You see. And some more in today's time, the student don't really investigate the teacher well. They immediately jump into conclusion and they just follow. So easily follow, isn't it? In the past, it's not easy. That the student, they really check the teacher for ages. Even like giving example like 12 12, 20 over years, they check before they really take into heart, take as a guru disciple. Today's time, people just organize the initiation. People, they're so excited, just go initiation, establish guru disciple. Then at the end of the initiation, we say, will stamp you like that. It's like, means means whatever I say, I'm the soul, I'm the principal, because I'm the initiator. Means everything I say, you have to do it. So you have to follow every single word, every single instruction, and how wonderful, how fortunate if it's really your karmic affiliated and qualified teacher, but not everybody is lucky. Not everybody meet their karmic affiliated teacher. Sometimes they meet, due to our own flaws, we get attracted with some flashy kind of ways, and we just get into those attractions, and then after some people whole life they don't find the correction, and some people after 20-30 years later, instead of guru and disciple become oneness, they develop hate to the guru. The guru and disciple become a complete kind of conflicting. Disaster should also happens like that. You see, so it's a very, very serious thing. Then it is auto commentary also says, therefore those who explain the Dharma incorrectly and with the afflicted mind that desire material gain, respect, and fame, corrupt their own great merits. So even for themselves, it's a heavy karma. The Dharma, who is expounding the Dharma, themselves, if carry wrong motivation or worldly concern, like respect, like a material gift, fame, then, not only corrupt the Dharma, not only dilute the Dharma with the pollution of your own negativity, yourself commit heavy negative karma like that. It becomes a huge obstacle to yourself also, you see. So therefore, a pure motivation to teach the Dharma is extremely important. And in accordance with the Nga Gomba, who said, I have never explained the Dharma without meditating upon impermanence before the session. It is crucial to review it is beforehand. You see, so therefore, you will witness, the Dharma teachers, when they go onto their seat, before they sit, they will snap like this. They will snap onto the seat like this. That time there is a kamara de mameta. So there, very much, they recite this verse: a star, a defective views, a butter lamp flame, an illusion, a dewdrop, a water bubble, a dream, lightning, a cloud. See all causation phenomena like this. So it's very much meditate immediately the impermanent. Then the selflessness, the emptiness, impermanent, in order to have a sense of detachment to all the worldly concerns, before preaching the Dharma. Have a sense of detachment, sense of selflessness, for that, like this. Always you witness like that, like Kamara moment. Then they sit down like that, you see. Then so then I read, exhortation to the extraordinary attitude set for true group of 20 benefit of giving gift of Dharma without desire for material things, and without concern for gain, respect, and the like. Also, the cautions of the householder Ugra Sutra says that the merit of a householder giving immeasurable material things is exceeded by that of an ordained person giving a single verse of Dharma. So this showing the how powerful, giving the Dharma, sharing the Dharma, advising the Dharma, to others. Even some benefactors, as a lay, rich benefactor, give immeasurable material gift to others. And one ordained Sangha having full vows of ordination, give one verse of Dharma, it is merit, it's power like that. So this teaching shows that, among all the generosity of Dharma is the supreme generosity. You see, even in our ordinary life, in the family, you may be a father, mother, taking care of all the needs of the family and working so hard to earn money, build house, etc., and day-to-day a lot of expenses, which is great generosity. But one thing that also, skillfully find way to offer the supreme generosity of the Dharma advice, Dharma values, try to express Dharma values. And the best way to do that is yourself living in the Dharma value, which is very much, built on the foundations of being in inner peace, full of compassion, full of unconditional love, full of patience, full of empathy, and a heart of generosity in helping. You see, so you live a life like that in the family, then naturally the entire family will look up to you. Entire family will adore you, take you as a role model, and that itself is, you are teaching, you are giving the Dharma generation, which is numberless times greater merit that even yourself will earn than giving all, for whole lifetime, giving so much of material gift that which you have been already giving, which you will continue to give like that. That's one thing. Another teaching is that as a Dharma teacher, the more the vow that you hold, it makes even greater merit for yourself to earn, as well as the greater merit to able to transmit to the listener. So when you look for a Dharma teacher, that someone is holding as many vows as possible. That's why even here the direct word, if someone is like full ordained, having Buddhist vows, having tantric vows, and someone on top of that, now and then living in the precept, like 8 minor precepts, etc., you engage with, the gurus and the teachers, someone who has as many vows as possible, like that. So the blessing that channeled through you through the Dharma engagement is much more greater impact, like that. One thing I forgot to mention that, one of the important right motivation that before sharing the Dharma, so that's a word. Through this merit, may sentient beings attain the rank of all the seeings, subdue the fear of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, distressed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Then also, before teaching, always either recite or meditate, introduce, refuge and bodhicitta prayer, isn't it? That is also the way how to construct yourself, the exposure of the Dharma, as well as the listener, to have a correct motivation. Like I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and by the merit of the giving and the Dharma, may I become the Buddha to benefit, transmigratory beings. You see, the first three lines to honor and go for refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then last two lines, where you construct, altruistic motivation. So all these are like musts like that. Then generating respect for the teacher and the Dharma. When proclaiming the mother of the Buddha, the teacher himself arranged the seat and so on accordingly. Since the Dharma is the field of veneration, even for Buddhas, one should bring to mind the excellent qualities and kindness of the Dharma and its teacher and generate respect for them. So the Dharma is the mother of all the Buddhas. All the Buddhas are born from Dharma. Because of the practice of Dharma, the individual ordinary people become Buddha, you see. So therefore, the expounder of the Dharma, whoever sharing the Dharma, whether the person may be real Buddha or ordinary person, but what is expounding is the mother of all the Buddhas, mother of all the Buddhas of the three times. The Dharma is the mother of all the Buddhas of the three times. The Dharma is also the mother of your Buddha. Your future Buddha is born from the Dharma. Yeah. So since it's expounding, then you need to venerate them, and you need to, that's the reason you cannot simply, neglect. Even when you're expounding the Dharma, you cannot simply do anyhow. You need to expound the Dharma with some sense of compose, some sense of respect. You see, there are many occasions that when Buddha traveled into certain village, the villagers first time meeting the Buddha, first time listening to Dharma, they don't understand the value of the Dharma, but Buddha knows. So Buddha himself make the throne for himself to sit on, then expound the Dharma. It's not because he want to be great. It's not showing respect to himself. It's showing respect to what he's going to expound, which is the Dharma, because of that, Then also when Shakyamuni Buddha was expounding the second wheel turning of Dharma in the Rajgir, all the because there's no like wooden made kind of like a throne, etc. So all the listeners, like their arahats are there, their bodhisattvas are there. There's so many venerables, in human form. Then they, usually they wear two kind of Dharma robes. So one of the Dharma robe, they fall, and they file up and make as a cushion, make as a throne for Buddha, for him to sit, to expound, to express the Dharma. That much, the respect they understood what the Gautama Siddhartha are going to preach like that. You see, so therefore, even when we do sadhana practices, or when we do meditations, when we do some chanting of the mantra, of course you can do anywhere, you can do, but you can visualize that yourself, always like sitting on the Vajra cushion like that, you visualize, you actually, at least you understand, because what you are saying, what you're reciting is the Dharma, like, or even Om Mani Padme Hum, so you understand like that. So if you are just earlier I said, even we should recite a mantra in the toilet, So you don't think it's toilet. You think you're sitting on the Vajra cushion, Vajra cushion. You see, so so everywhere. Even you are doing retreat in the cave, there's nothing there, like Milarepa, nothing there. But then you still, visualize. You understand you're sitting on the Vajra ground. Then you are expressing the Dharma. Because whenever you recite one word of a mantra, they may not be human being listening to it. There is a numberless spirits, numberless formless beings listening. They are heard. You see, so that's also one thing that whenever you engage in Dharma practice through body, speech, and mind, there is a sentient being that who always receiving its impact of revealing the Dharma. So that's why whenever you are intact preserving the Dharma, you're always directly engaging with sentient being, the spirits like that, Now, then proper attitude. The proper attitude and behavior with which to explain the Dharma. This has a 2 point, the attitude and behavior. Attitude. The caution of the Sagarmata or Sagarmati Sutra put forward 5 perception, generating the perception of oneself as a doctor, of the Dharma as a medicine, of the one listening to the Dharma as a patient, then of the Tathagata as a holy being, and of the wish that the Dharma remain for a long time. It is also promotes the cultivation of loving kindness towards those around one. The jealousy born from anxiety over others becoming superior, the laziness of putting things off, the discouragement of fatigue from explaining things over and over, the praises of oneself and speaking of others' faults, the reluctance of divulge Dharma texts, and the concern for material things such as food and clothing should be abandoned. Thinking the very merit from teaching for the sake of my own and others' enlightenment are the assurance of my happiness. Should have that kind of thinking like that. Should be free from all the worldly concerns. Behavior, having washed, so that behavior, there's certain behavior should apply. Having washed and dressed in immaculate clothes, you sit in the clean and pleasant venue on the cushioned place on the Dharma throne. If you chant the mantra for subjugating demon, then harmful spirit and demonic kind of the gods will not come closer to you than a perimeter of the 100 yogyanas. And even if they do come, they will not be able to create any obstacle. So, yeah, if you are preaching a Dharma, then, you have to do all this in your very best, like that. Then also, at least, recite or meditate on emptiness, or recite Hasutra, or the Hasutra mantra. So that, because whenever you expound the Dharma, there's also negative forces that who do not wish to have the positive energy, like a Dharma. So they if there's such obstacles, then when you recite like Hasutra mantra or meditate on emptiness, then even there may be harmful energies or spirits, they cannot come encounter, within like 100 or yogyanas, like 100 of miles, like that. As a caution of someone said, therefore you should chant the mantra, and with the radiant expressions of your face, give your explanation with examples, logical proof, quotation, which help ensure your message is understood, like that. Then division of special sorry. I certainly jump. Then differentiating those to whom the explanation should be given. The Vinaya Sutra says, do not act without being asked to. Accordingly, do not teach without having been asked, and even when someone asks, examine the vessel. However, as the King of the Concentration Sutra says, knowing someone to be suitable vessel, it is acceptable to teach even without having been asked. Further modes of the conduct are set forth in the Vinaya Sutra. So usually the Dharma, the teaching should be requested, and requested with a sense of a very respectful manner. So these are important, especially group, organizational wise, and also not only request one time, should request many times, and also the Dharma teacher, should consider carefully to accept, not because of being miserliness, but also to really establish the conducive conditions of positive conditions like sincerity, genuine respect to the Dharma, genuine respect to the teacher. So that way, when all these conditions, then you provide the Dharma, when you teach the Dharma, then it becomes so beneficial. Otherwise, may not be, And there are certain exceptional occasions, Dharma gurus, they themselves spot ripen disciples. That usually don't really happen in a group, but it usually is about individual students. And then, certain instructions of the Dharma, certain teaching, they just reveal spontaneously without even asking, like that. So otherwise, as someone is expounding Dharma, you have to be very strict about that. So then how to conclude the session? The root of the virtues of the teaching and the listen in this way should be sealed by means of pure aspirational prayers, such as the prayers of good conduct. May whatever virtues that I have collected benefit the teachings and the transmigratory beings, and in practice, in particular, may it cause the essence of the perfect, pure Losang Tralpa's teaching to shine forever. So this, there's a prayer that usually we recite. Then after that recite. Usually right after finish the teaching, then recite this. Then right after that, then the student, they voluntarily chant the mandala offering. Usually happen like that. So you conclude like that. Then after that, then you dedicate in bodhicitta, dedicate in emptiness, dedicate in actualizing 2 stages of the tantric path. So in short, like dedicate in bodhicitta and seal in emptiness, like that. So that way the merit will share by all the rest of numberless sentient beings. By sealing by emptiness, and then the merit will impact and last until entire numberless sentient beings achieve the state of the ultimate benefit of the Dharma, the enlightenment. I read, there's no doubt that if the Dharma is explained and listened to in this manner, the benefit stated above will arise in just one session. When the act of the listening and explaining the Dharma have penetrated the heart of the matter, all the karmic obstruction accumulated previously for incident, not respecting the Dharma and those who expounded it are purified, and all those newly accumulated are cut off. When such listening arrives at the heart of the matter, the instruction will benefit the mind. Seeing this, all the holy beings of the past pursue it diligently, especially the earlier gurus of this instruction, who preserve it with utmost diligence. So there's like certain general dedications, they usually recite. I fully dedicate all the virtues to be able to be trained just like the hero of Manjushri, who knows reality, and just like the Samantabhadra as well. So if we dedicate just like that, then whatever merit you accumulate will be dedicated just like how the past Buddhas and Bodhisattvas like Manjushri and Samantabhadra would dedicate. Your merit also dedicate just like that. Then I fully dedicate all my root of the virtues with the dedication praised as the best by all gone beyond, victors of the 3 times, in order to have the good conduct. So, dedicate just like that. Then may the precious supreme bodhicitta not yet born arise. May that arise and not decline, but increase more and more. And similar way, you can use the same verse to the emptiness. May the precious emptiness not yet born arise, like that. Then you can also dedicate the same thing for the 2 stages of the tantric path. May the precious 2 stages of the tantric path not yet been arisen. Then the rest of the line recites similar thing like that. So then these are clearly critically important instruction. If you do not gain certainty about them and your attitude does not change, as it often the case, then no matter how much profound the vast Dharma is explained to you, it will become like a god fallen to the rank of demon. And that very Dharma will instead fuel your affliction. They says, if you miscalculate the first of the month, you will err until the 15th. And thus the wise strive to transform their listening and explaining into the path. Accordingly, whenever you have the opportunity to hear or to teach, you must do so in a proper way, for this is the best preliminary for teaching the instructions. Okay, thank you. So I think I already took 5 more minutes of yours. Sorry for that. And since this is the dedication section, so I think we don't need to do another round dedication. So just have a 1 moment of quietness and how we used to dedicate in the past, how we just, from the teaching, how it guided to do the dedication. In short, we dedicate the merit just like the Buddhists of Manjushri, Buddhists of Samantabhadra, and Buddhas of the past, present, future would dedicate. We dedicate the same way like that. Thank you. Thank you, Tujeche. Please take care. Bye-bye.
Maybe offer a mandala.
Oh, yes, sure. Now we have to
我们
exercise.
现在向上师做一个这个感恩的这个曼达，大家请打开
Then I will
物品。
exercise also. Dagi chini sabe jawa tenda doa kula kambeda chepara juzu
做一
kosan
个
dama.
曼达的这
Tembe
个
ningo rendo sa je sho. Now your turn.
我们在英文班的同学们在另外一个视频上是那种
这巴拉修耶达芒古鲁甘内亚达亚米将就生就人波杰马杰巴南杰就杰杰瓦年巴梅巴光年多贝瓦就公年大瓦人波杰马杰巴南杰就杰杰瓦年巴梅光年光多贝瓦就人年大瓦人波杰马杰巴南杰就杰杰瓦年巴梅巴光年光多贝瓦就杰拉梅乌塞拉德杰能嘎德勒切就杰巴达罗桑德贝准备萨苏杰准备木塞他都杰就杰杰瓦昆多亚他罗马达他们确定的拉隆就사달람 제연데라 보내도 제산제 고반도 조원조 세제자베 제랍다 텐데 로아메 베테바다 다제 하산다베도 남다메 베네고 조비르제 잠베 바베 제드라 젬바다 고도 삼보 대안데제 제데다 혼제 제소다로 자와데다 담제랍도 뭐 대손제베 자와 담제데 뭐 강나 추도 뭐 바데 다시 제베 사와데고 삼보 제제랍도 뭐 와제 파마심제 담제 된다 된조제면도 담제다도 동화다 차주 sembar가나 수 대다 건제 몰람 도교제 배당 조와 미그베 신도 바삼제 심제라와 본 삼바 최신 주베 다시 쇼 Thank you very much, and please have a wonderful week. Please take good care of each other. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gisela.
Thank you so much. Take care.
好的
Bye.
一个礼拜。
谢谢 Thank you.
Okay, Sheila, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
谢谢
Thank you, Gisela.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, God. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Gisela. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We see you next week. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Gisela.
谢谢
Thank
大
you,
家，
Gisela.
我们下个礼拜再见。